Evening, everybody. Welcome to the Big Procast. It's 9:05. Thanks for staying tuned into the Beastmaster tonight on the Superstation.
That's right.
We're here with another episode of What's on Joe Mind. For those of you who are asking, Beachhead is leaning out the window to look at Chunky Tank Kitty driving in the opposite direction. Sorry, I have D+ Photoshop skills. So take what you can get and just enjoy the lightheartedness of it all. We'll be right back after you watch our kick-ass theme song. Welcome back. It's What's on Joe Mind. We are a fan cast about the world of GI Joe. How's everybody doing?
Oh, yeah.
I'm just going to look in all directions like Ann B. Davis. All right.
I'm your host, Mike Irizarry, back after a week of exile.
Mm-hmm.
We can't do another hour, 12-minute episode because it's going to further drive our viewing numbers into the toilet.
No.
And who knows how Mark would demonetize us this week?
No, people would be like, damn, I can listen to that whole show. 72 minutes, I'm in. That's long for an Eternal Baseball podcast. I got to be honest with you.
Well,
that's
yeah,
extra innings.
But how much action are we packing into an hour and a half to 2 hours of What's on Joe Mind?
Normally, that's one where you've brought in the reliever, and then the other team has decided to be off for a good 8 runs.
We're going to extras. Mark went to the pen.
The only time the Eternal Baseball podcast is this exciting is when Ken Hill is pitching.
That's true. Can get knocked off that hill most usually, but
or when I show up, he's pitching no hitters.
Look, I'm just as creative as Chris Berman.
Leave Chris Berman and his boundless enthusiasm alone.
You're with me, Leather.
Boundless. But that's correct. Superstation WOJM.
Well, it's good to have you back.
Look, I never went anywhere because you pieces of crap cameoed me into last week, so I didn't even miss a week.
It's true. Your Ripken-esque streak continues.
I got put into the game in the 7th to pitch some middle relief and maybe taking it back.
Dude, the last time you weren't here, I think, is when Joe did the show from her car.
Yes. The 55-minute episode where we broke actual real news and we're in and out in an hour.
That's it. And Joe drove the car from the passenger seat with her giant toes. While being on the air. It was a good show.
Right. Wes was in the back seat playing on the Switch or something.
Yeah, and Wes
was in the back seat praying.
And I was in a Vermont mountain cabin shooting my mouth off and getting in trouble, as I recall. It was a good show. Hell of a night.
Okay, we broke news that night. So
it was like Mike left and all hell broke loose, literally. It was bad.
You couldn't help it, man. I was moving.
It was so
bad. Didn't even
bad.
have internet.
It was so bad.
Oh, goodness. That's Craig Cohan. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Birthdays are terrible.
True.
They're the worst.
Tell us about your birthday, Mike.
It was Mother's Day. I ran around a lot and then went to a comedy show at night, and that was it.
You had some ice cream, too.
I had some ice cream. Yeah.
Okay.
And he got
there it was. When you get old, it's that's what happens. And I don't have kids, so there's nobody to buy me unnecessary coffee mugs.
But you're also complete master of your own destiny all day, right?
I suppose.
I
went a couple places that were they were not advertised as being closed, but they were closed. So I spent a lot of time in the car for not a lot of productivity.
That's kind of jive.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Mother's Day. We're closed.
Right. Like, I mean, I get it, but at least put that, if people are going to be going to Google Maps, at least let them know that your schedule has changed.
Yeah.
Where did you go that was closed?
Oh, there are a couple of stops. I'll tell you. Couple of the retro toy stores in the area closed. I did make a run to the toy pit up here on the north side on the way home. They were open. They didn't have nothing. I'd just been there a couple weeks before.
So you got nothing from there on your birthday. That's weak.
Yeah.
They should have had
He got nothing.
a door prize or something.
I got garbage.
Ugh.
Really, like the only person I've seen was Racktime Rob. I'll show off the gift, the wonderful gift that he got. But that's
sure he took care of you, right?
He's the only person I've seen since then.
Okay.
What can you do?
We'll do it again next year. We'll make it
There
better.
Craig Cohan, he's turning 50 this year and buying a flag for himself.
Hell
Just
yeah.
totally, well, good. At least you spend big. Get the good one.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get the crappy put together one. Don't get the used one that Phil's using for a coffee table.
I'll save money and then I'll piece it together. No, you won't.
No, you won't.
No, you won't. Not unless you're going to pay triple.
Right. We're not doubting your ability to piece it together. We're doubting your ability to save money.
To do it under cost.
Yeah.
Benjamin Kitt says, I almost made it through my first Tuesday episode last week without falling asleep. Boo.
Can't
why?
wait till
This guy right here. Bam. 72.
I mean, 72 minutes, sure. But as I said post-show last week, perhaps the reason that show flew by is because there wasn't anyone that had to try and regulate Mark Webber talking, which adds a lot of depth to the podcast.
Maybe I could do like the Zoom call thing and just raise my
Right.
see if I get called on or not.
buzz in
It's
like
funny because
Jeopardy.
I hadn't thought of that when you said it. I'm like, that's a pretty good point. I got no comeback.
Right. I mean, I'm just saying.
Pretty much.
I'm just saying. I've been trying to find the video bite of Rigby from regular show, just screaming "Stop talking" for when everybody goes crazy and won't listen to the guy running the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to find that, and I can't. I'm just trying to find that little clip because
You mean when we go full McLaughlin group?
Right.
right. I don't want
Wrong.
to. I don't want to get us flagged for playing 10 seconds of Careless Whisper again.
Right. Sorry about that. But it got me a new nickname.
What's that?
Careless Webber?
Whisperer.
Oh, well. Oh, I see now. I see.
Yeah.
I
Hey,
don't look at that.
while you're looking for Rigby, see if you can find High Five Ghost.
That's probably a gift somewhere.
Gotta be.
So, Firefly recommends Machine Gun Mark,
Ooh.
gunning
bad.
down our runtime.
Right.
And it sounds like I'm complaining. I've actually been attempting to keep our runtime under 2 hours, to kind of take a few more minutes off of it to get everybody out that much sooner. It's not working very well.
Mm-hmm.
But what can you do? You know? We didn't worry about it with Gary on. That was an anniversary show. We were gonna let old man Godso talk. But besides that episode, I've literally been trying to get it closer to maybe an hour and a half to an hour 45. Absolutely failing in that regard. Completely failing. Should have brought Phil on last week to pad the numbers, but it was.
I wouldn't have been available last week, so
Oh.
Well,
Like that. I guess he's not available tonight either. Oh, he's back.
I had to pick my dad up from the airport.
Right, sure, like your dad's important. Who
Wow.
flies on a Tuesday?
people
Retired
Wait.
people.
Was that
were
LAX?
saving some money.
Was that
Yes, it
LA?
was LAX. Yeah,
Okay, not the what's the John Wayne? Is that the other one?
not John Wayne. No.
Okay.
But
John Wayne is one of the many names for the Anaheim airport, yes.
Yeah. And you know how you get
the
there.
Santa Ana Airport.
You know how you get there.
How do you get there?
You take Fountain all the way up through La Alhambra.
Are you sure Fountain won't be jammed?
Probably going to be
La
jammed.
Alhambra? La Habra?
Whatever.
Or Alhambra?
That's it too. Whatever. We just started a new streak.
Maybe you could just go back for Marina Del Rey.
I was so busy hitting buttons last week, I forgot to get a Californians reference. in.
Right. I even put that in that's down in the description down below.
Yep.
Speaking of which, if you're watching this on YouTube tonight, be sure you like the video down there. Hit the little button. Be sure you leave a comment for us, a big boy comment, not just a live chat comment, big boy comment down below. Share us in your social media circles, your Reddit pages, what have you. And of course, subscribe to the channel. Get us on Facebook. Give us a thumbs up, give us a heart, give us a little huggy guy. We do love little huggy guy.
Mhm.
And that gets all the algorithms working over there too. And again, feel free to share us in all your various Facebook groups because I know that they love that. All of them. Actually, they tend to hate that because they want to get credit for creating something without doing something like this.
That's true.
So, but whatever. What can you do? What can you do?
Firefly's giving us some love for the relief preacher, right?
Right. He does love the chill tone of Mike's pacing. That's not so much chill as I'm just deliberate. But I also enjoy the breakneck pace of Mark's solid delivery. Variety is good. We are different types of radio people.
Mhm.
Like Mark would be the guy reading the news while I was doing the talk segment.
Mhm.
Like that's just how we do things. Because like I've had to run talk segments before. I used to work for public radio of all things. So pitch week, pledge week, those were the best 2 weeks of the year were pledge week. Absolutely wonderful. Loved them.
I'm like for you old guys like me, I'm like a 33 on 45, baby. Let's go. Or is it 45 on 33? Either way.
It's my old manager back there used to say, you know, I always try to schedule Mike, get him a full week of work during pledge week because they always send stuff over at the last minute. They expect it to be done in 5 minutes. And I look through the window and I see a bunch of arms flying around and tapes flying across the room and all this crap. And then when he hits the button, it's all there. I don't ask questions why. I just know Mike plays all the right stuff.
There you go.
So there you go.
Look, my job for a year and a half at least was a 5-second in, a 12 or an 8-second tag, at least one sound bite, and all the sports news in 60 seconds toning. So let's go.
Right.
Yeah.
If this is going to be more NPR, I would like to say that come Christmas time, what really brings people into the shop are my balls.
That's right. The balls are so tender.
Are they sweaty?
The sweaty ball.
It is an old sweaty family recipe.
Diana Davis says, sorry I'm late reviewing the inks for 302.
But from who?
Right.
Nice humble brag, but we appreciate that.
When do the pencils come in?
He's just sitting there with a bottle of ink. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
this
is
is excellent.
That's so awesome.
An excellent
Black.
vintage.
Yes.
How'd you like to be the best inker in comic books? So you get to ink first, and then you send it to the artist.
And they'll pencil on top of it because they know
Yeah,
what it's good for.
make some of that. That's what I want to be.
Or how'd you like to be the best inker in comics? And they tell you rescue Rob Liefelds.
Right, go get him.
And that's usually when crying happens.
Mhm.
Craig Cohan also watched the recorded episode, bought the John Cena Joe shirt 5 minutes after he debuted at Mania. Good call. Make sure you check out our TeePublic shop. We do have a new design up based on last week's episode where you too can advertise being, where is it? Thick in the crotch, bro.
That's right.
So be sure to head over to our TeePublic page. Link is down below in the comments. Check that one out. I think they were doing a sale. I don't know if they're still doing a sale. If they're not doing a sale, just wait a couple days until they do the sale again.
Join the Tracksuit Mafia with your bros.
Right. Yeah, the Tracksuit Henchman is on the T-shirt. Lancer is on the T-shirt. Call sign Longbow logo is on the back of the T-shirt. It's a good T-shirt. You should pick that one up. We've sold all of one of them so far.
And we know who it is.
B T-shirt number 2. My guess is that shirt was purchased by Matt Rubin. And there it is. Because anytime we put up a design for a T-shirt, Matt Rubin's like, I'm in.
He has collected.
I got it.
He has collected them all.
He is a super supporter. He is also one of our supporters on Coffee. Link is down below. If you got a couple of bucks every month, really, if you pledge $1 a month, that gets you into the Joe Colton Curse Jar Club.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all it takes, $1 a month. We'll quit. Everybody watching this pledged $1 a month. We'd never ask for money again.
Boy, and inside what, a month?
There's some of those old NPR pledge skills.
Right?
Or
What
only
level do you donate to where you get the duffel bag?
Yeah.
Drink koozie.
funny
the coffee
story
mug.
on that, but we're working on that. It's funny. I got a couple weeks ago. I got the clicky pens, right? And I went to 4 Imprint for the clicky pens because they had a good deal going on. And then a couple of maybe 2 weeks later, a package from 4 Imprint that I did not order comes in the mail, and it's just a box of stuff, just random items with their logo on it, just so you can sample the things that they have available for you to buy from them with your logo on it. So I've actually like that. That's awesome. That's a great way to sell tchotchke.
Mm-hmm.
So you never know. We may bust out something like a tote bag at some point.
Ooh.
And I would like to point out that with your $50 gift, you also get the handsome coffee table edition, the art of What's on Joe Mind.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Which is mainly just like doodles of like 3-dimensional cubes and houses with the smokestack going that are caught in the margins of old notebooks.
Right. You can try to figure out what the chicken scratchings of my legal pads are. They're not actually pictures, but they kind of look like them if you squint and hold them.
Hieroglyphics.
Here's the question. Is there enough money in the Joe Colton swear jar to cover what's going to be undoubtedly the longest string of connected swear words in her entire life coming up in a few weeks?
I mean, I don't know if they're filming in the emergency room or not, the delivery room rather.
Yeah.
So tough to say.
At least get audio. At least.
So what's the base level they have to donate where they won't get the swimsuit calendar of What's on Joe Mind?
I mean, every 4th month is pretty good.
Well, that's the fill month.
Yeah. Right.
But Jeff Butler, for years I'd gotten those 4 Imprint freebie boxes. Order them once, get the samples forever there. Look, man, keep sending me freebies.
Sure.
You want to get to the Mike Love language, free crap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I am my mother's son and my grandmother's grandson before that.
Free crap?
Right. Like there was a little 4 Imprint tote bag. I used it. I took stuff to St. Louis on it that week. It's like, well, I could use this to carry odd knickknacks around. So yeah, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
You're in 4 Imprint. If I need a tote bag, I know who I'm getting it from.
The only reason he doesn't check payphones for change is because, well, there's no payphones anymore.
Whatever. If I see people on the street with their phones, I just dig in their pockets. Sometimes it's for change.
But anyway.
Sometimes it's for change. Sometimes not so much. Anyway.
It's for gum.
But Firefly says, what a shill. Correct, sir.
Correct, sir.
Ding, ding.
Let me get the official sound effect on there. There we go.
You see how much I'm missing my buttons?
Survey says
all that power taken from me.
that's right.
Well, because you forgot to stop before you counted to 10 on Careless Whisper.
Yeah, it's kind of true. I asked Mike, I said, how long did I go? He's like, twice as long as legal. Okay.
Right.
Which, is kind of ironic given the title of the song.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, there's Phil sitting there just going, what the hell did I come out for?
So that won't get us.
That's legal.
If you leave a little break in between every time, that you're good.
Should have known better than to. Sorry.
Look, spoken word poetry, I think, is okay.
Yeah.
Is it?
I think
spoken word poetry kind of sucks.
Well, I mean, fundamentally, yes.
Oh, you mean legally?
Legally, I think we're okay there.
You've never
heard bags last night.
What about spoken? Can we do some spoken word? Can we do spoken word Vogon poetry? And twirl you in the gavel blotches. See if I don't.
Chaz the Guru says, did I miss the segment where you get to bitch about UK and Hong Kong getting new figures before the US? No, we probably won't sound too nasty about it. They're coming.
Yeah,
we did
that. We'll get them for half the price.
Right, they promised it in the summer. It's not the summer yet. Whatever. Yeah. I was buying anyway.
We talked about that on last week's show. Go back to last week. Go to minute 75.
You stop that. There is no minute 75.
Well, he played Careless Whisper over it. No,
right. It's a long fade.
Stop driving our people away, Mark Weber. People who showed up super late didn't think there was even a show.
They were kind of
you're not
right.
showing up till
They
an
were
hour-
kind of right. I'll be honest with you.
If you're not showing up till an hour 15 minutes in, I kind of wonder what you're tuning in for. But what do you say we get to our good friends in the community calendar? Sound good? Is that good for everybody?
Sure. It's only been 20.
I think I went back in time.
Taking
All right, we got the
psychic damage
Swedish
every
death metal
time.
one.
Remember, if you've got a show you want to post in the community calendar, help us out. Send it over to whatsonjoemind@gmail.com. We'll be happy to get in there. If you're sending it to me like Tuesday afternoon, I probably can't help you for Tuesday night. But, if, like after the show, if you got something for next week, that'd be a great time. Great time to load up the old community calendar.
Mhm.
First up, coming up this weekend on the 20th, Saturday, it's the Denver GI Joe Meetup. That is being hosted by the folks at Mark II Design and Mark II Toys. So if you're punching in that address that's on our screen, you're punching that address into your Google Maps, and it's just isolated off in the middle of some business park. That's because it's their home office. It's their actual place of business. So don't let that throw you. They are not leading you out into the field to kill you.
Yes.
Or if they do,
This time.
right, if they do, at least if enough of you show up, you'll make the news.
Yeah.
And your deaths will not be in vain.
Mhm.
But Denver GI Joe Meetup, again, hosted by the folks at Mark II Design. We'll hear more from them as the calendar rolls on. But that is coming up this Saturday.
And I just like to say, if you go to the Denver GI Joe Meetup and you do end up brutally slaughtered, we owe you a Coke.
Mhm.
But they'll probably have given you a box of high C.
We owe you a Coke. Or a Diet Coke, if that's what you prefer.
Oh,
Emphasis on die.
good Lord.
Well done, Phil. Well done. Same day, both this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, is Tidewater ComicCon. This would be a Joe Colton show, only she's super pregnant. So that's not happening. But lots of G.I. Joe touches going on here. We got Adrian Palicki, who we all remember fondly as Lady J from Retaliation. Dan Galvezin is there. He was Slipstream. Greg Berger's there. He was a whole island worth of folks. And, of course, the Sarge will be in attendance. That is at the Virginia Beach Convention Center. Virginia Beach, Virginia. How many times can I say Virginia? Many. Tickets and information are going to be at TidewaterComicCon.com, and that's just 2 C's in Comic-Con, like Comic On or Comic-Con, but not Comic-Con per se.
Comic-Con.
Basically, how it's printed on the logo there, type that in with a .com, and there you go.
Dan Galvezin, my favorite cartoon Spider-Man.
Yeah.
How can you pick just one?
Well, he wasn't alone. He did have amazing friends.
Sean Russell asks, is Mark II a clone of Weber?
Ooh, nah.
A Mark II.
Nah. Try to find another redhead with blue eyes. Hard to do.
Brian King asks, good evening, everyone. I need some help. Who has the best stands for Classified? I would say you can't go wrong with Marauder. Their stands are wonderful.
Mhm.
But, just taking a quick moment, see if I missed anything important in the comments, and we're trying.
Remember, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
Torpedo Mike says Joe is not just regular pregnant, super pregnant. That is the truth, man.
Super pregnant.
I think we're probably just a couple days off of mega pregnant.
Yeah.
Like, whew.
Double
By the
super
time
pregnant.
Memorial Day rolls around,
Yeah, like our friend Mary Mercenary went out to the baby shower, which was last week, and Joe Colton sent us no pictures, no updates. Despite that, I've been after her for like 3 weeks now. No pictures, no updates.
Mary's got to have something. Come on, Mary.
But anyways, Mary said she left me a 3-word retort on how the trip went. She is huge. That was the whole conversation. Like I can't one up that. I can't top that. So I'm just gonna bow out and touch base next week.
She's so round. The O in Joe is capitalized now.
Yeah.
Joe.
Nomad's wandering with some other helpful advice. Brian King, Ringside Collectibles has some good stands. That is true too. Very true. Sean Russell, if she's super pregnant, does that make her Super Joe? She's always Super Joe.
But her hands aren't crumbling to dust.
Oh, good point.
Torpedo Mike says, good thing she doesn't listen to episodes she's not on. I don't think it would matter. I think she would agree with that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure she listens to the episode she's on.
Some weeks, yeah, but like I think if calling her super pregnant at this point, I think she'd agree with that. I don't think there would be any argument. But you never know. We talk about her enough. Her ears should be burning that she should at least tune in once in a while. But it's not going to happen. We can barely get her to plug the damn show when she's on the damn show.
She tuned in last week, couldn't figure out where we were.
Right.
Yeah.
She showed up at minute 75.
That's it.
That nonsense.
Why can't I make a super chat? Because we were demonetized.
Ringside Collectibles has tons of wrestling figures. Also, the Young Bucks.
Your favorites.
What's important is you're not bitter.
I don't care.
That's fine. No, I don't like them either.
Saves me time.
I don't care for them either with their backstage politicking. They're like a less interesting Kevin Nash. Sunday. The next edition of the Fort Wayne Hobby and Collectible Show. Free admission, free parking. Out at the Allen County Fairgrounds in Fort Wayne, Indiana. See, they're going to have 5 shows this year. May 21st is show number 2. Todd Burnt is your contact. You got his number there if you have any questions. They are also on Facebook. There you go.
Will there be
you gonna head out that way?
Huh?
Go ahead.
Moving on.
I wanted to ask if there was going to be an Irizarry Brothers kissing booth.
No.
Or is that next year?
No.
Nobody wants that.
Just saying.
The court order kind of interferes.
Oh,
look, I mean, when I was married, nobody wanted that. Anyways, they're lost, but still.
Totally.
Next up. Hey, it brings us up to Joe Fest.
Joe Fest.
The proverbial 800-pound gorilla, I guess. The Augustatoid ComicCon coming up June 9th through 11th in Augusta, Georgia. You can see Larry Hama there in the spotlight. Also, Brian Atkins, Robert Atkins, Chad Bowers, Lisa Raggio, Adam Riches, Sergeant Slaughter, Keona Young, and many, many more of your favorite guest vendors and toy makers. Some of which are related to GI Joe, many of which are not, because remember, it's the Augusta Toy and Comic Show, a.k.a. Joe Fest.
Could be a good time.
Let's hope.
Francois Chow will not be in attendance because he's buried under tons of sand by NoHo Hank.
I didn't understand a word of that.
No, Francois Chow, who was, of course, Quick Kick, was on a couple episodes of Barry this season.
Oh, okay. Now I got it.
And,
Good for him.
Spoiler alert, he met his unfortunate end. So, as NoHo Hank has gone stone cold killer. I love Barry. It's a great show.
I need to watch Barry.
Fantastic. Surveillance Port with the best question of the night. Irizarry Brothers kissing booth. Is this in Kentucky?
Not kissing each other unless you pay a lot.
There ain't enough.
You got it. There, I'm sure there is a number, but I don't think anybody's going to get it.
Listen, man, everybody's got a price.
Nobody in Fort Wayne's going to hit that number.
A little peck on the cheek.
Hey, Penny.
A little peck on the cheek.
Yeah, no.
No.
He's gross. Diana Davis says, I live in NoHo. Are you Hank's neighbor?
Wait, Soho is in New York City? And NoHo is in LA?
NoHo is North Hollywood.
What is Soho?
Is
South Hollywood, duh.
South Ho.
South Hoboken,
Yeah.
perhaps?
Yes.
There's a Soho in London, too. So I don't know. I don't know what that means.
South Hoboken.
So confused.
It's where that little penguin from the ice show that Bugs Bunny's got to get back is from.
Wow. Rack Time Rob, never failing to make references that no one will catch.
I like it.
I don't care. They make me laugh.
Michigan J Frog.
Two bros in a cup. Diana Davis, there's a WeHo too.
Ah!
That sounds like a personal issue.
Yeah, that's in Reno. We go Reno. Moving on.
But, moving on. That looks like that's the end of community calendar. We got a light one. Nobody's sending us stuff, and I don't have time to research it necessarily. So that's what you get through community calendar. Rehash from last week. That's what you get. You get nothing.
I'll be honest with you. We got through it faster last week.
Well, yeah, because you didn't talk about shit.
I didn't know what to do. I only knew the next slide button. So off we go.
Community calendar.
The 405, it's jam!
She knows.
Get track on that. I'm so my brother. I'm your host, Mike
I love that one because it's got the chicken nugget. I'm so glad I picked that one.
Surveillance Sport is trying to earn brownie points with Philip.
But again, you got a show. Be sure to send it to us at whatsonjoemind@gmail.com, and we'll do our best to get it on up here in the community calendar. Firefly giving me notes over chat box. Why don't you go ahead and send me an email to whatsonjoemind@gmail.com.
That's how it works.
He's not going to remember that for next week.
Right? I should remember that one. I try and get Dallas Joe show all the time. They're a long-standing, great regional show. So I that's on me. That's my bad. But sometimes I get busy. But I missed. There we go. There's a hi-ho, but that's mostly Disney.
Hi-ho!
I'll see myself out now.
I don't know.
See that you do.
Dad joke. I like it.
Don't be killing our viewership.
I'll allow it.
If you make the wrong turn, off of Times Square, it's also a common greeting.
That's a good point.
Ladies of the evenings in stilettos.
Sometimes gentlemen of the.
Oh, hello.
Libertine
Equal
men and
opportunity.
scarlet women. Ragtime.
Let's get to the news. Jiminy Christmas.
I'm drinking already.
All right. Well, not to bring things down, but our first news item this week is not a happy one. Bring up the graphic here. Mark Boudreau, the legendary Kenner and Hasbro designer, unfortunately passed away on Sunday. He was, I never actually did the math there. Looks like he was 66 years old. Complications of COVID, respiratory problems, unfortunately. But Mark was notable in particular. He was the lead designer for the Real Ghostbusters line and many individual items on Star Wars, including every version of the Millennium Falcon that had been released in the 3 3/4 scale. Mark, you got to work with Mark Boudreau for a little bit.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, kind of. We were never on the same team, but Transformers and GI Joe was 20 feet away from the Star Wars team, just down a small hallway. So I was around him a lot. Never got to work with him directly because I didn't work on Star Wars ever. But he was crazy, genuine, and just kind. He was just a great dude. So there's a big outpouring from the Hasbros and the Has-Beens who had a chance to work with him. Everybody liked this guy. And toy biz is not an easy biz, and he was in it forever. Think about that. Designed every full-size Millennium Falcon ever. So
yeah, Kenner was his first job.
Yeah.
He worked it for 43, 44 years, whatever that is.
Yeah, he was a great dude. And there were a lot of good people at Hasbro, but I don't know. There were only a couple great people that everyone liked. And everyone likes Mark Boudreau. So like I said, all the Hasbros and Has-Beens who knew him are feeling it a little bit this week because he was a great guy and he'll be missed.
All right.
Follow that.
Right. I'm not waiting for Doots on this one. We're just going to go to the next news item.
Fair enough.
It's After Action Report's back. Woohoo!
It's back, baby.
Hot off the press, like within maybe 2 hours before airtime. But Command Files is back up and running. Once we get done with the show here tonight, I will reinstate the informational video that we did with Roger and Greg that has been out of rotation for a couple of weeks. So at least get some information going. We will have them back to talk again in the very near future. But that special edition should tide everybody over for a couple days at least. But Racktime Rob, you caught the email. You've got all the details. You're going to be our senior After Action Report Command Files correspondent.
Ooh, exciting.
Right?
All right. Well, fresh from the Kickstarters. Like I said, I got this about like 10:34 a.m., according to my phone. From Kickstarter, hi there. This is a message from Kickstarter's Trust and Safety team. We're writing to let you know that a project you were interested in, After Action Report, Command Files GI Joe Character Guide, has been reinstated. The process for this project's intellectual property dispute is complete. No further action is required on your part. You can visit the project here, and it had a link. Best wishes, Kickstarter Trust and Safety.
All right, there you go.
And that was followed a little while after by a project update at 12:39 from Josh Agbean saying that you have until Saturday to pledge with confidence.
There you go.
But it was funded before it was halted. So
correct. Yeah, it's a go. We don't have to sweat this one out. I think there might be some stretch goals. I have to go and reacquaint myself with this. It was down for a couple weeks.
Yeah, we couldn't look at it all.
But as Matt Rubin notes, we'll get it up on screen so everybody can see it. Project is ending May 20th. Like I said, we are working on getting those guys in to chat real quick. We'll figure it out. This is, again, very, very last minute notice for those of us who, don't get up till the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
I work overnights.
Right. And it's not because Mike's lazy. Yeah.
Not
His-
just
Not this time, anyway.
Well, his concept of time is different from
Is
most,
a bit
most
skewed
mortals.
lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of days I don't know what day it is.
Batman doesn't rule the night. Mike rules the night.
Batman stops by to get pointers.
Great. Batman's like, I'm tired. How do you do it, Mike?
He's like, I don't know. I'm tired too. I toss him a can of Coke Zero and we get on with our lives. Anyways. So good news for Josh and Roger and Greg and the whole team at After Action Report. We hope to follow up on this very, very soon. Next news item.
A do.
Meanwhile, at Hasbro Pulp. More images telling us that there's going to be a GI Joe project. I'm forgetting the name of this thing.
HasLab.
Thank you.
It's called the Vamp.
Right, the HasLab projects. Vamp, again, heavy favorite in the house. That's our betting favorite. I think we'll take outside odds on beefed up armadillo, Wolverine, or perhaps the second favorite, the Road Toad. Oh, there it is even. Surveillance board. We're getting a classified Road Toad.
There we go.
I watched
Mark,
the...
It's actually the Missile Defense Unit.
Mark, last week you and I were talking how maybe a Dragonfly is not that out of the way, but
I still think of all the lunatic suggestions, that's the only one with legs.
Right. As far as lunatic suggestions go, that's the least lunatic.
Yeah, there ain't nothing to it, really.
Especially with the images that have made their way out and stuff. But man, that's a big undertaking.
I don't think they would do it first, but I think they could do it. Whereas most of the ones you hear are just immediately right in the trash, right? They need
Yeah,
a
because-
whale. They need a flag. They need a
Yeah, because they're the
pterodrome.
size
Right.
of, you know, large pieces of furniture. Yeah.
Right.
Classified
Yeah.
general, baby.
Right.
We would have to buy a sofa, its own sofa for a classified whale.
Yeah.
I
And-
mean, it'd be awesome. I wouldn't get it because I got nowhere for it to go.
yeah,
could
there's only room for one sofa in this apartment, so
They could make the bottom part a legit beanbag, and then you could just sit on it.
Does your apartment complex have a pool?
it does,
There-
but it's actually under construction right now.
They're rebuilding it. Yes.
For
It's,
summertime.
it was a pool, and now it's going to be a super pool.
Yeah, and it'll be ready in October.
Yeah, actually, they've been working on it since like before Christmas, so
Oh,
they
okay.
should have it. Should be soon.
Okay, I take it back.
The pipes in this complex are notoriously terrible, so I'm sure they had to redo some of those.
Yeah.
in order
And
to get
this
that
is
up to code.
Indiana. It could snow tomorrow.
That's true. Dude, hey, give Bart some love here. He's got the best idea I've ever heard.
HasLab motorized backpack set in 6.
I'd pay $50 just for the axe one.
Oh, yeah.
The
Love
rope
the
climber.
Surveillance port. I want a classified flag, says the same community that couldn't support 2 packs of 15 unless they were 50% off at Ross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I caught back in my posting days, might have been on his take, somewhere where I said, where I was just a guy, I said, if you're waiting for it to go to Marshall's or whatever, you are not supporting the line. You're not.
Right.
So
No. Yeah.
if that, I'm not telling anybody what to buy or when to buy, but when the line disappears for a while, you can't complain. Not one bit. If you're like, I'll get it half off at Ross. Okay. See how that works out for you.
It once was a pool. Now it's a hovercraft harbor. That would be awesome.
It's a good call.
Rachel Salinas with a question for the panel. And we appreciate these. Who's your dream team list of figures to come with a HasLab Dragonfly? And we'll just take Wild Bill and put that on everybody's list, so you don't have to say Wild Bill.
I want Battle for Wild Bill.
Phil, you're a guest. Why don't you go ahead and give us your dream team list of figures?
I mean, well, the obvious co-pilot's airborne, right? So I don't want to
Yeah.
do that. But you know, I wouldn't complain if we got like a Crazy Legs or a Free Fall.
There you go. See, I think you're right there. I think Airborne is like he's got some legs, right? There's popularity to Airborne. There's enough popularity with Airborne to sell him in a box on a shelf somewhere. So I wouldn't necessarily need him as a HasLab exclusive. But yeah, Free Fall or Crazy Legs, those guys are a little bit more obscure, and that's like a HasLab feels like the only way we would get something like that. What else you got, Phil?
Well, putting me on the spot.
We'll say 2. Everybody pick their 2, right? So you got it. you got a paratrooper, and you got what else?
Well, I mean, how else are we going to get like a lift ticket or something?
Backup pilot.
I think there's other options for lift ticket.
Hmm.
You could go 25th anniversary, put him with a Skyhawk somewhere down the line.
What about beach ticket?
We have some thoughts on beach ticket, but we'll cover them later.
Coming up. That's called a teaser.
Rack time, Rob.
Let's see. I'm trying to think back of like who did I see in a Dragonfly, you know, like a lot, and I'm always, you know, Wild Bill and Airborne, but maybe Doc, you know.
Who do you see a lot in a Dragonfly if you watch the Sunbow cartoon?
Everybody.
Right.
Shipwreck.
Timber, another Timber.
Yeah.
So you got Doc.
Yeah, I mean, you know, a lot of times they'd use that to medevac so they could safely transport someone away on the skids on a stretcher.
Hey, it was good enough for MASH.
It's true. Oh, they had more of like a, you know, a platform that you put them on. So
They had foot peg holes. He'll be okay.
What do you say, Mark?
The funny thing to me is I don't see why, even though I know Airborne is like the classic co-pilot thing, why do we keep putting paratroopers in a helicopter? That's inherently a bad idea.
Right.
yeah.
But here's what I go. I would go for the winch option. Hit and run, man. hit and run coming down that winch. That's cool. So there's my guy. Or interrogator about to stab him in the back. He's a copter pilot too. Just fly back home.
There you go. For me, I would take. I think Phil spit it out in a little side thought there. I want to go like Battle Corps Wild Bill, the one that looks like Teddy Roosevelt, because that would be awesome.
Yes.
So not just Wild Bill, but alternate Wild Bill. I think even Wild Bill's kind of weird because he's one of the few pilots that would stand on his own to get a general release anyway. Like it's kind of weird that of all people, like I could see Battle Corps Wild Bill being the only Wild Bill because they plan to do regular Wild Bill in the normal classified line.
Dude,
Anyway.
Rachel Salinas with 2 solid calls right there.
Let me find it.
Near the
Okay,
top.
she's got Windmill and Updraft.
I might be the only one. I love the Updraft figure. I think he's one of my favorite late era Joes in my top 10. I think he's a spectacular figure and often overlooked.
He is a good one, and I only want Windmill if he's got the Fun
Windmill
School
backpack.
Windmill backpack.
Yeah.
That's all. That if Windmill backpack or GTFO.
No, I would buy him if he came with the motorized axe backpack too. Because
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Thinking about it, if we're gonna go Battle Corps Wild Bill, we might as well make the other one Airborne, but that weird yellow and blue superhero costume he had sometimes in Sunbow.
Sky Patrol Airborne. Or no, Sunbow alternate design Airborne.
Yeah.
Marvel
The one that
Family
doesn't look like
Airborne.
his toy.
jammies.
Yeah. Because that would be a fun one that would never get a regular release.
Maybe we could go full Operation Mind Menace and do Sunbow Airborne and Sunbow Flash. And they could be buzzing around. You could have it come with an Easter Island statue come to life.
they can model it off my head.
The plastic would have to be translucent.
Oh, that's a good point. That's all right. I'm good with it.
Michael Kleppinger had some comments in here. Building on what we said earlier, Hasblood Dragonfly was in progress and got canceled. To include Wild Bill and Airborne, one of the guys from the 3D group was working on the initial model. Also, Classified Dragonfly has been modeled and built. It's huge.
Yeah, but it's not that big. Once you pop the back off, package it sideways, you're good.
What like pregnant Joe Colton? Huge.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeej.
But Jay Toygo, Airborne Doc with a stretcher. It goes under the helicopter skids. David Allen says Starduster. That's interesting.
Yeah, not a bad idea.
Jeff Butler says Bree Van Mark approves if you include Lifeline.
Should I know who Bree Van Mark is?
That was the chick that fell for Lifeline in that one episode of the Sunbow cartoon.
Oh, yeah. I
Just
remember
buying
that.
him the solid gold helicopter and stuff.
I just thought maybe we were related.
That's
it
Bree
Zap?
Van Mark Weber.
Was it Zap who piloted helicopters in the early Marvel
Yep.
comics?
To which
Yeah.
Matt Rubin asked, how many people would be pissed off if they released some of the original 13 with the Hasblood Dragonfly GI Joe project? I think there would be a lot.
Many.
It's like the battle in the box when they finally gave you short fuse. It only cost like $140.
You know, I bought that Battle in Box. I think it was only $75.
Marked down because you got it at Ross.
I got it at Target.
You got it at Marshall's.
The holiday sale.
I got it
got
at Target. I got it at Target and it was marked down already. Like it didn't last long on the Target shelf.
God, that box was awesome though. It's a shame.
No,
you
it
had
was
to do
great.
that. I got it at Target too, which shows you how long ago it came out.
Holding
Phil,
grudges.
did you get one?
Torpedo Mike,
I did, yes.
yikes! Imagine the rotor droop on a classified series Dragonfly. Very true.
That's a good point.
Although I don't think that they would necessarily be concerned with making these soft because these would not be, there'd be no push button motorized capacity on these. They would simply be for posing.
Because people would lose an eye.
Right, but these are adult collectibles. Like these are sold as adult collectibles. These are not being marketed for kids. So there's a lot of safety testing that doesn't have to happen here.
Yeah.
A forged steel.
Yeah, not being marketed for kids at all. Not a bit.
I give the idea for including some of the original 13 in the HasLab 2 broken thumbs up.
I'm like Dick Van Dyke in that Alien episode.
Dude, that's how it works in the Weber household. Break a thumb, you're driving a Jeep.
Right.
Break a thumb, you're in the Ram. Hide those gross broken thumbs way in there.
Right.
You're good.
You are officially the gunner's mate.
That's it.
You are manning a gun tub in the whale.
You're firing the flak. It's hard to hold on. Shut up.
That's the only way you could man the flak.
You're on the sled.
Handles-
The sled
Handles in the
underneath it.
flak are huge.
Yeah, how many thumbs did the flak consume?
Oh.
Good Lord.
It was a
None
Like
of mine. I didn't try.
It was
The
an
fl-
ancient angry god.
Do you think the flak hangs out with bazooka's bazooka and it's like, how many you get today? 5.
Bart's like, then we got a Tiger Force Dragonfly and a Tan Locust at retail. I don't think we're seeing a Dragonfly at retail, period.
Yeah.
Jeff Butler asked, do we think agent characters submitting these reports would be included with the vehicle? Chuckles and Helix, maybe. I think that's a possibility, but Chuckles and Helix have been announced for
Mainline.
normal classified. So
Well, they got announced as being made. I don't know. I mean,
right. It like we're splitting hairs a little bit, but I wouldn't think that they would announce a character as being. Anyways, yeah, like that would
They
just seem like
announced
kind of a cheap shot.
they announced 2 characters that ended up as Walmart exclusives.
Yeah, but that's a lot different than a HasLab.
Yeah, but
I mean, Walmart's the biggest toy seller in America. If you can't get your hands on a Walmart exclusive, you're not trying that hard.
Yeah.
no, it means that basically you're shopping at Walmart.
Or
Yeah.
And Walmart doesn't not try that hard when they ship to you. So
look, you might wind up paying more than you should from someplace that isn't Walmart to get that Walmart exclusive, but you can get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they sent 50 to the one you don't go to, and you're never going to see the one that you go
Correct.
to.
Correct. That's what they do.
David Allen has the joke of the week. Kudos to him.
Right. Maybe a new character.
Is joke? Is
Oh,
joke?
David, you kill me, man. God forbid. Honestly, that seems like it would be a natural place to sneak a new character.
Yeah, like a
Really
female
does.
pilot. But, yeah.
well, we already have freestyle, so
That's right.
they'll go through club characters before they give us the original.
Do you know who Freestyle is modeled after facially?
No, go ahead.
John Warden's wife.
All right.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if anybody knows that, but it's true.
No, I had no idea. That is
Yep.
new information that you only get from the honcho.
Breaking news.
Here, what's on Joe Mind?
To quote Mel Brooks, good to be the king.
Tell all those other imitator roundtable GI Joe shows they don't have a honcho.
You get the real stuff here.
Surveillance Port likes Walmart exclusives, especially their origami packaging.
You can fold it up.
Oh,
Mine's a horsey.
Mine's empty.
Right. Like your soul, Rob. That was harsh.
next news item.
A do.
Hey, we saw some images going around the old internet this week. Lots of folks showing off Torpedo and Copperhead and Rock and Roll and Shipwreck and all that stuff. This image showed up officially on Hobbybase's Facebook page. They are a retailer operating out of Hong Kong, but you can see there that wave is on its way. I know this has created a lot of consternation amongst fans, but you know what, folks? I mean, they promised June, didn't they?
Actually, I think it's September.
Right. They're going to beat that if that's what it says on the thing. But so it'll get here. It's okay. You know, so not everything works the same. Not the lines of distribution are not the same going to Europe and the Pacifics from China as it does for here, because obviously they're closer. So everybody be cool. We're going to get our stuff. Everybody be cool. This isn't a problem. Just be cool. Mark?
Yeah, all you people on the internet, calm down.
Right?
Oh,
I know
always works.
I have a feeling that's why our growth numbers tend to stagnate, because we tend to do like we make jokes, but we don't make jokes at other people's expense. We have measured discussion, and then we're silly. So I think we're too cool to laugh at.
Oh.
So,
look, I'll give credit where it's due. Those snakes coming out of the tubes on Torpedo's packaging, that's rock solid.
Yeah. Tuber.
Absolutely. Well played.
As Duke announced out of thin air back in the Mass Device miniseries. It looks like some kind of tube worm. Sure, Duke.
There you go.
Sure thing, buddy.
A man of action, not of diction.
Right. He's when he's
Or math
off,
science.
when he's not on a mission, he's reading briefings on tube worms.
I can still hear the noise they made, right? It's like the
Torpedo.
original most annoying sound in the world.
Under promise, over deliver. Be cool. That's right, Torpedo Mike.
There
That's
you go.
right. DJ Five Ash says, Veruca Salt said, I want it now.
Good point. That's a deep cut, and I dig it.
Right. Right.
All right, who's got to do the Oompa Loompa song now?
I don't know. Well, let's call on our special correspondent, Violet Beauregard.
That's why we brought you on, Southern California guy. You're the most orange of the pack.
Drunka, lunka, dumpity, darm guards.
Yeah. Phil, you'll be getting these probably a week before the rest of us, so
True.
enjoy that.
I mean, that has happened before.
In California. We're in Indiana. We're last, right?
Yeah.
We're dead last. Somehow, the crossroads of America, 80% of the U.S. populace is within 8-hour drive of where we sit right now, but we will get our shit dead last.
But everyone else's will go through here first.
And
Right.
continual shipping problems is what caused Andrew Luck to retire.
That's very true. That's
Sucks.
entirely it.
Sucks.
He retired because of the distribution
Distribution
black hole
problem.
that is Indianapolis.
Logistics. Always logistics.
I mean, I was the first guy to find the sand serpent jet. So.
There you go.
All right.
I was the last guy to find it. I got that like 3 years after it came out. I don't know why. It was elusive.
I think I ended up buying something like 17 of them just to mail out to other people.
That was it. That's why they were hard to find. Damn you, Phil.
That was just like 5 stores.
Firefly's mad we missed the ZZ Top joke. It's all right.
I did look. I can't just stay glued to the live chat. I'm sorry. I do my best.
That's why I gave him a shout out right there.
But yeah. So everybody, I know live chat's already been complaining about this, so we'll just let you go. Just be cool, everybody. Be cool. It'll get it. They haven't not delivered a figure yet. So. Next
Except that new figure, the brand new figure, the wholly new character. They haven't delivered that one yet. Just saying.
We've already laughed that one out of existence.
I mean, they're technically giving us new Cobra figures, but you know.
Hey, Legends of the Hidden Force is still out there on Kickstarter. We're only a few days in, less than a week, 60% funded. So good job to everybody who's already pledged.
Digging it.
Be sure to check that out. It's got a lower goal. It's a little bit of a stripped down version. You can still catch some of the details on the special edition we did with, or not special edition, but the episode we did with Darren a few weeks ago. We still get the down low on all the characters that are probably going to be spread across 2 waves now. But they listened. They got the more popular ones, the figures that got the most feedback. They got them scooted up in the release order. So by all means, if you checked out the first one, be sure you check out the relaunch. It's a much leaner and meaner campaign. And there again, funds initially at 35,000, so they're just over 21,000 at the moment. Or when I checked this morning anyway. I don't figure they've slid that much. But be sure to search Legends of the Hidden Force on Kickstarter for full details and stretch goals. And funding continues through June 11th at 2 p.m. Phil, are you pledged yet?
Will be by the end of it. I'm a procrastinator. What can I say?
Killing me, Phil.
Somebody's got to be on here to generate the controversy.
Mm-hmm.
Get those hate clicks going on your
That's it.
on your
We
algorithm.
need more hate watching. That's what we need.
We don't care. I don't care why you watch.
Views are views.
I'll get
Get in here.
Firefly's comment up there now. Back to the ninja. There you go.
It's not a ZZ Top song.
Get it?
I don't think.
Look, I'm no expert on ZZ Top, so it could be. I'm not saying it's not, but I don't.
Yes, it's possible.
It was
should
not
be.
It did not get a single.
It was
I can
was
say that
It
confidently.
was a B-side.
a B-side. Yeah, absolutely.
At most.
Rough Boy and Back the Ninja. Okay.
Backup vocals by Michael Dudikoff.
Right. It's on the extended single for LaGrange.
That's it.
How, Hidden Force.
Wow.
And if you had Mike sing ZZ Top live on your bingo card,
But under 10 seconds, so we're okay.
right.
No
That's,
C and D
that's,
this time.
that's the key.
Yeah.
That's why I'm the host.
That's it. That's why I'm never going to be the host again. But whatever. It's fun while it lasted.
Florida is always last.
Florida knows
Then
what
we'll
it
ban
did.
Torpedo for having 2 burps on the box.
That sounds terrible.
Oh my god, I love it.
You can have two verbs on the box. You just can't talk about any of the two verbs on the box.
Right.
Oh.
I
I don't like where this is going.
Don't mention it. Don't do it.
God help you if those two verbs are in a skirt.
Hey, Firefly loves the Lagrange Hidden Force mats up there. Perfection. This is why he subs and backs on coffee. That's why you should too.
Somebody is going to grab that bit. I'm not going to say who, and include it in a future community calendar.
Right.
Pretty sure.
I'm almost disappointed if it doesn't.
It'll be
They could-
digitized
if-
and stretched out to 30 seconds.
Dude, they just drop you on top of the actual ZZ Top.
Just email them the time codes. Save them the time.
Yeah.
Just,
It's right at the look. It's right about the 1 hour mark. That one's not going to be hard to find.
That's the point.
Right there.
That's actually my nickname when I'm the host. 1 hour mark.
Hashtag don't say two word.
It was my nickname in college too. Hey.
Oh my god. This
Oh,
got out of this escalated quickly.
Where were we?
This got out of hand.
This is the sort of stuff that didn't happen last week.
No, well, it did. It just
Wait.
happened fast.
Between you guys and Ironsides McKee. There's none of this kind of horseplay.
Any second now, Brick's going to kill a guy with a trident.
Right? Better lay low, Brick.
You'll be wanted for murder.
It'll be Phil. It'll be Biff.
Phil's going to kill a guy with a trident.
I love Lamp.
That's it.
Phil's just going to wander
love
around
that.
in a crowd holding a hand grenade out in front of him, screaming the whole way.
Ah! What day do we watch that?
Oh,
Saturday?
I think so. I think
Oh,
it's-
that movie's so good.
Oh my goodness. Next news item.
Milk was a bad idea, apparently.
Oh,
That brings us up to the Hasbro 3D Printing Podcast presenting Chonky Tank Kitty and his Meowler Tank.
woohoo!
And we do want you to know, too, that the Hasbro, or rather the GI Joe 3D Printing Podcast, will have episode 19 this Saturday. The Joe Frest 2023 pre-show with special guest, former What's on Joe Mind host, Carson Matakis, currently of his lesser projects, 3D Joe's and Operation Recall.
Hard times for him.
Right, we hope he can bounce back.
Times are so hard for him, he had to sell the R.
Yeah.
That is coming up on the
Oh, good Lord.
3D Joe or GI Joe 3D Printing Podcast channel. That is Saturday. 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific.
Man, there's nobody awake for that over here.
Right?
8 a.m. on a Saturday? Come on.
8 a.m. Holy
No,
smokes.
Nomad's Wandering notes that it's getting awfully close to the end of last week's run.
Let's wrap this puppy up.
That's right. We're going to bring this one into the station.
But while we're talking 3D or GI Joe 3D printing podcast, we've got some news on Chunky Tank Kitty.
Do-do-do-do.
Available at Joe Fest at the Mark II Toys booth. That's Table E. You can get your very own Chunky Tank Kitty.
Hand painted. Pretty sure.
Ooh.
As seen on What's on Joe Mind.
That's slick.
Get yourself a Chunky Tank Kitty at Joe Fest. $10, I believe, is the asking price.
A bargain.
Especially if it's painted, yeah.
Right? It's a steal at $10 if it's painted. Forget about it.
It's a bargain at twice the price.
They put the little Amazon mouth on there, man.
It's not the Amazon mouth, just saying. It's two different logos.
So even though none of us will be at Joe Fest this year, we will be represented at Joe Fest this year with our friend Chunky Tank Kitty, Mark II Toys.
That's outstanding.
Small batch, hand painted, artesian Chunky Tank Kitties. So artesian, I think, is the key word there.
Or artisan, either way.
Heirloom.
That's how they
Depends on-
say it. That's how they say it in
Heirloom
Indiana.
quality.
Artisan.
Depends on if it's a beer or not, I guess.
If
it's-
your six pack says I'd want a plush Chunky, not a taxidermy. Well, I mean, look, man, baby steps. We're getting there. Baby steps.
I'm not saying it's not perfect, but if you want to paint it as your own cat, knock yourself out, man. That's cool too.
It's funny you should mention that, Mark. And we'll
Oh,
leave that open-ended. We bespoke Chunky Tank Kitty. Someday, whoever's picture that is going to find it,
yeah.
and they're going to want their cut.
You know, it's going to be, and you know, it's going to be. It'll be like the Scooby Doo reveal, right? It's going to be Tim Roberts. You know it.
There you go.
just pay the man. Just pay the man.
Hey, him. Right, Mark's curling into a fetal
His
position.
payment. What if his
Give me
payment
money.
is? What if his payment is your address? I
He
mean,
missed the whole pole vault pad or high jump pad, I guess. But still,
For those of you who are lost right now, the Legend of Tim Roberts is one of our classic audio episodes from early in Mark's run as a co-host. So
go find it.
go check that one out. You can listen to all of the stories of Mark's younger days as a tiny ginger growing up in Bend, Oregon.
Mm-hmm. Fighting Tim Roberts for the one GI Joe comic on the spinner rack at Long's Drugs. And that youthful rivalry ended badly on a high jump pit at Cascade Junior High. Actually, not on the pit, kind of next to it, down on the grass.
Michael Kleppinger is the guy selling these. He will have 25 available. So if you're looking for Chunky Tank Kitty in that sprawling mess that will be the Augustatoid Comic Show, you better hit him early and give him your money.
And if you're not Michael Kleppinger, I got 2 words for you. Not enough. These are going to go fast.
Look, man, he's doing his best. These are artesian Chunky
Dude,
Tank.
I'm giving him nothing but respect. I'm just
these are
saying.
handcrafted.
I hope he's limiting it to 1 per customer, because someone might come up and just be like, I'll take all 25. And next thing you know, they're at their table for $20 on Saturday.
Well, or just being distributed to the masses. That would be the Gary Head play.
Well, that's a good point.
But Diana Davis, we don't let Cookie Monster drive anything, thanks to his poor depth perception. And that is Diana's celebrity one-eyed cat. Not after that one time. And that's good that you've all learned. That's
Well, I mean, when he drove that tank out there, he tied up the 5 for hours.
I know. It was jammed.
See, that was well done, Rob. Well done. I put that you guys were going back for another attempt to murder the Californian sketch. I didn't say you were going to do it twice. So right there.
We had to make up for last week.
Yeah. That way it gets our average back.
Oh, Torpedo's got it right there, though. He's Cookie Monster related. The Toonses, look out! Totally underrated sketch.
Oh,
no, not at all. Well, they did what? 8 of them?
Did they do 8?
Yeah, they did a
they
bunch.
did a bunch of Toonses. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
I think they went through each one of his lives.
Yeah, they had to stop, or they would have killed him for real.
My goodness. So yes, head over to the Mark II Toys table. Get yourself a Chunky Tank Kitty. You can be almost as cool as me.
Yeah, that's the
Drives
first.
almost
That's the
all over
first.
the town.
That's the first
Chunky
edition
the
up
Tank
there.
Kitty.
That's the news.
I actually ran that at the end of the show last week.
I
About
saw
the same time.
Yeah, just about.
Just about.
Just about.
There we go.
But hey, what do you say? Let's take a moment now. We've touched base with Chunky Tank Kitty. So that means what's next is to spend a second reflecting quietly with our good friends at Kokomo Toys. We'll be right back.
We buy, sell, and trade vintage and modern toys. GI Joe, Star Wars, Transformers, Marvel, DC, and more. Located in beautiful downtown Kokomo, Indiana, we are open every Wednesday through Saturday from 12 to 5. It's a theme park of nostalgia. Join the thousands of people who have traveled from all over the Midwest for over a decade to buy and sell with us. Get your geek on.
All right, and we're back.
Mm-hmm.
So Phil, it's been like what, 6 weeks since you were on? What you been doing?
Oh, something like that. Yeah. Oh, I've been cursing my existence trying to get my computer back up and running since that hard drive crashed last week. So that's what I've been doing.
So how are you communicating with us tonight?
I have a new hard drive in there already.
Okay, then. All right. That makes a lot of sense.
Were you using it when it died, or did you come back and it wouldn't function?
I was just letting it play a live stream on YouTube, and then it just suddenly makes a horrible screeching noise for 10 seconds and then shuts off.
So, yeah, I was chatting with Phil earlier in the week, and basically it serves him right because it was not a What's on Joe Mind live stream.
Oh, okay.
So
So that's what
that
broke
guy.
it. That's what broke it.
It was a Wednesday.
It's what you get for not paying service.
Mm-hmm.
The king.
Yeah, that's what you get for putting that low grade gasoline in your car.
But I was taking care of some stuff. I was trying to get some promotional material together. I did get our new business cards.
Business.
Nice.
These will also be with young Mr. Kleppinger out at Joe Fest this year,
Outstanding.
along with some clicky pen.
Appreciate it, Mike.
So he will be out there spreading the gospel. So be sure to stop by and see him. Even if you don't want a Chunky Tank Kitty, you can get what little What's on Joe Mind swag exists for free.
Get yourself a clicky pen.
But so anyways, I asked Phil, I'm like, hey, Phil, because when I need pictures for the silly stuff that I do with thumbnails and on Instagram and what have you, like Phil's the guy I turn to. Like Phil did all the photo work for YoJoe back in the day. He did all the photo work for Carson on 3D Joe's, or a lot of it. I don't want to say all of it, but a lot of it.
Not all of it. A lot, yeah.
And I'm like, so Phil, can I get? Can you send me a couple shots of 86 Beachhead so I can quit using the ones that, like, there's 3 of them that I just keep reusing and just trying to apply in different spots that hope that nobody notices. But it would be good to have a few new ones to round that out. And he's like, yeah, sure. And he tells me about the hard drive fiasco, and I'm like, well, there's no hurry on this, man. We don't have to. I don't need it tomorrow, but let's touch base and get that done. And he gets back to me the next day, and it's like, I don't think I have an 86 Beachhead that has any accessories.
It's calling me out here.
Because you have them all.
And I'm just sitting there like,
all the ones with accessories are in the living room.
My actual reaction, quote, God damn it, Phil. End quote. the one figure that I'm asking you for pictures for, one of the most common figures of the entire run, right?
Or at
Like, I
least
got a
used
lot
to
of them, sure, but there are, I maintain, there are a million of those things out there. Literally 7 digits of 86 Beachhead. That's how many of those damn things they sold in 1986 and 1987. That's how much GI Joe was moving off the peg. There's Beachheads everywhere, right? Figure Phil's got a pretty good. He did all the work for Carson. He did all the work for Terry and YoJoe. He's got a Beachhead with. No, he does not. So we had to recycle.
Pack.
He had to sell it on eBay. I wonder where it ended up.
We had to recycle the same old photos one more time for the business card and for tonight's thumbnail, on which Beachhead is leaning out the side of the Vamp Mark II, questioning the existence of Chunky Tank Kitty.
If only Phil had a friend who could send him a Beachhead with all of the accessories.
Well, Phil does have a small package of Beachhead accessories coming his way.
I have the figure. The figure's fine.
I have some extra guns. I could have used that ammo pouch, sure, but no, I sacrificed for Phil.
What color?
No, correct. It's the original one.
Just checking.
It's not marzipan.
I have a whole bag of backpacks here somewhere.
I have an accessory pack rifle and a backpack that does not fit in his backpack hole, so it's probably not the right one.
Did you try it in the crotch? Did you try it in the crotch?
So Phil is out there sporting inferior gear.
This is my secret shame. Yes.
As the substitute host and AV coordinator for the hottest Beachhead-based show in existence.
I mean, I got you that Nemesis Enforcer pick.
And it's beautiful work, Phil. That's why it just threw me that hard that you did not have. Oh my God, turn away from the live chat. There's 15 comments everywhere. Okay. Oh. Does anyone out there have a complete Battle Force 2000? Tough to say, Terrence. I'm going to guess Phil does not.
Were there a lot of little microphones in that?
I do. They're in my mobile battle bunker.
Hi, everyone, for the great state of America. Hello, Terrence Childs. I was about to say, that does sound like a new name. Welcome to the show. We appreciate you. Be sure you hit like and subscribe. Do all that cool stuff. We will be your best friend.
I did some time in Maryland, Rockville, Silver Spring.
Chevy Chase?
Not Chevy Chase. Worked there.
REM says not to go back to Rockville.
Okay, fair enough.
Just so you're aware.
Thank you, Mr. Stipe.
Mr. Stipe. My goodness. We've gotten all kinds of weird stuff going on live chat. It's always a little bit off when Surveillance Sport shows up. I have no idea what's going on here. Sure.
Can't hear Bluey.
Sure.
That's what's happening.
Look, man, if you're gonna be stuck watching children's television, Bluey's the way to go.
Who's Bluey? No, who's Bluey?
I don't know.
It airs on Disney Channel, but it's from Australia.
Yeah, it's an Australian show. Disney's got it, and it is just
so there's knife fighting.
Well, yeah, but the depiction of the adults on the show is very real.
Okay, and
it kind of adds a whole layer to things. Like it's not like. It's not a snarky, sarcastic, send up. It's just the silly little cartoon dogs feel like actual adults talking in front of their toddlers.
Okay.
Like you can tell there's another layer there that they're not saying.
Right.
They're just trying to keep it clean for the youngin. Just give yourself 10 minutes of Bluey. I don't even have kids, and I gave myself 10 minutes of Bluey. I was charmed. I moved on with my life.
All right. So
I have nothing but nice things to say.
Barry and Bluey. That's on my to-do list.
Right. They're opposite ends of the spectrum.
Make sure you see the very special episode where the dingo eats the baby.
I hope the dingo.
You'll be charmed for completely different reasons by watching Bluey and Barry.
As long as one of the parents on Bluey says sure when he didn't really hear what his kid says, I'm good. Because that's a total dad move.
Sure.
So what do you think, Dad? I didn't hear the word knife. Sure.
Absorbvid says he'll send new beachhead pics, and I'm both intrigued and afraid.
Oh, we got to see these.
Jeff Butler says Toy de Jour in Chicago actually has a complete Battle Force 2000 set, including DJ and the Pulverizer, for sale right now.
That's so very sad.
Man.
Or you can find DJ still on the pegs at your local Walmart.
Right.
He's right behind not Mindbenders, right behind Crystal Ball.
Right. I'm sure there's a Dollar General that has the two of them
Absolutely
hanging around.
It's a shame they didn't do. Remember the rare like Mortal Enemies 2-pack? They totally should have done DJ and Crystal Ball. That would have been awesome. It would have been like Thor's hammer, right? Impossible to lift.
Only the worthy can lift it.
That's right.
Firefly says he had a hard drive crash in 1990. It was the most horrible sound I ever heard. The disc head crashed into the platter. It was like nails on a chalkboard. Do you have any of that, Phil?
Didn't sound like nails on a chalkboard so much as it was like a shrieking bird. Like,
maybe he had a bird in there.
Maybe. I checked later. There weren't any feathers.
All right, fair enough. So what do you say we move into what we got in? Phil, you're guest hosting this week. Why don't you go first?
Alrighty. Well, I got this in.
That bookshelf, you and pretend you just got it.
That thing was shipping for 2 years.
And I got to tell you, I was telling this
Let me get you
to
in the
Mike
big window
before
here.
the show.
We get you in the big window, Phil. Big window.
We always make fun of the medallion on Destro, but it is doing a lot of heavy lifting because the medallion is removable, and when he's not wearing it, it's distressing.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a load-bearing medallion.
It really is.
You had nothing to do there but stare into the endless abyss of his shaved man cleavage.
So, you don't know what you got until it's gone. Leave it on there.
Potentially waxed. I don't. I'm not here to.
That's-
Not here to tell Destro how to do his beauty routine, but
That's what DC found out with Superman's shorts.
right.
And then,
So Phil, before you move on from that,
Yep.
how does that guy grade out compared to some of the other high end Destros we've seen in recent years?
I mean, he's obviously just a 6-inch scale, so he'd fit in better with your classified figures than say the 12-inch stuff.
Do you like it better than the classified one? Because classified Destro is still pretty kick-ass.
He is, but obviously this guy comes with a lot more stuff, and hiding the joints under a cloth bodysuit always kind of makes it a little more aesthetically pleasing. But I mean, there's little nags like a little bit of thread just hanging out right there, and how his rocket on his wrist just do not want to stay in place. But he comes with a lot more accessories, so hard to complain about that. I mean, you got like a rocket blast effect, so many other alternate hands, guns, and the stand, and this claw thing to hold in place on the stand that I'm not quite sure how it fits on there, but I'll figure out.
So
eventually.
when you have Destro, when you pose him as doing a triple Lutz into the Cobra Command swimming pool, that's what holds him in midair.
That's right. Keeps everything in place.
All right. So grade it 1 to 10, Phil. Where do you put Mezco, or rather?
I'm going to give him a solid 8.
Okay.
It's not perfect, but it's pretty high. It's pretty up there.
What's that guy retail for?
Oh, probably about $100. So
You're a crazy man, Phil.
yes, I know. I'm not good. Not right in the head. But I did wait for this one to go cheaper before I bought it. So here's my Tamashii Nations Harley from the Suicide Squad.
Okay.
Oh, the good one.
Yes. Doesn't scale at all with McFarlane because this is still a 6-inch scale instead of the 7. But it's the best costume she's worn in 3 different movies. So
Yes. Yeah.
nice, decent amount of articulation.
For as good a work as was being done by Margot Robbie in the role. They really went out of their way to not make her look like Harley Quinn until that third movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was like the one that actually made it look like, oh, look, she actually looks like Harley. And then last week, I went to this thing,
Oh, look at that.
which is a separate ticketed event at night in Disneyland.
Disneyland After Dark.
After
Oh,
dark.
yeah.
Is that when they burned down the dragon?
No. You know what's hilarious though? That was the dragon from Fantasmic. I was there literally the night before to record that particular show. I don't know if I'm glad I got the whole show for posterity or pissed that I didn't get to see it burn.
Right?
Both.
But
But anyways,
Anyway.
tell us more about Disneyland After Dark.
each of these spots on here is a different thing. Meet and greets, photo opportunities, restaurants, fireworks, DJ dance party, walkthrough bits. But I did come away with this little fella who you drink out of his head.
Oh my God, you terrified me right now.
Leave this brain pan alone.
Ah!
Ah!
It's a
This
sipper.
is terrible.
In jar and cries.
That's adorable and awful.
You can sneak alcohol anywhere you want in that.
And
As Diana Davis notes, it's not so much Phil goes to Disneyland, is that now and then he goes home.
I like that he didn't go one night and the dragon burned down. So that's kind of on him.
this
100%
is a
on
weird looking droid.
He made
That
a
is
chocolate.
actually a popcorn bucket.
Of course it is.
So
Why
Disney's
didn't-
been making a whole killing off of just making collectible popcorn buckets for years now, and the Star Wars ones are hard to resist for me.
So
Apparently,
I assume it's a repaint of a real R2 that they've done before, right?
this is an entirely new mold.
So
And
why wouldn't you make it R2?
R6,
Oh,
they made an R2D2 about 10 years ago. That is a bit smaller than this one. I have it somewhere in storage, but it's not this.
that
I don't know
popcorn.
why it's a mishmash of 4 different droids, but it is.
Phil, I got a spoiler for you. That popcorn's going to be terrible when you get it out of that storage locker.
That's the hilarious
my
thing about this is when you buy these things, they just give you popcorn in a paper cup afterwards because they know nobody actually wants it in these popcorn buckets.
They know their audience. Good for them.
So that's all from me and the disembodied head of Grogu.
Oh my God.
Ugh, chilling.
Groger.
So happy.
Poor guy.
All right. Well, that's hope to never experience that again. Rack time, Rob. What'd you get in?
Let's see. I got a bunch of stuff, and one of them's actually Joe related.
What?
Yeah.
You collect Joe?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. But first, I got me some Migos.
Look at
All
that.
right. Got Reverse Flash and Penguin,
Joker.
Joker.
Joker's got a shoulder.
Riddler.
Nice.
And here's the big one.
Oh, look at that goatee.
Big Money Green Arrow.
Yeah.
So good.
The best. Firefly says, I like to imagine Phil just making his way through Disney World with his mouth on that straw like he's kissing Baby Yoda, but he's actually sucking vodka.
And then in terms of Joe
He's
related
laughing because
goodies,
you're right on the nose on that one.
yeah.
Oh, nice.
Ooh. And it's
Oh.
soft cover.
Paperback. Floppy.
Right? Soft cover from the Irish.
Smells like Irish Spring.
Right.
So congratulations to Patty and Brian
Yes.
getting that book out and again finding a new audience and continuing to spread the love of all that is Palatoy Action Force. Speaking of which, Patty or rather Brian did the photo work and image work for another Palatoy book. This time penned by the immortal Bob Brecken, who was the head of development for Boys Toys at Palatoy during its grand run in the late 70s, early 80s, and the nicest man alive. And that Kickstarter is starting Friday.
Nice.
So you will undoubtedly see that coming up on our social media. Yeah, just go ahead, go to Kickstarter while you're there checking on all the other projects we're telling you to check out. Do a search for Palatoy. That book's going to come up for you. That is authored by Mr. Bob Brecken, and I believe Brian's running it through his account. So especially if you pledged the other Action Force books that Brian and Patty did, it'll probably come up being connected to Brian that way. So be sure to keep an eye out for that. That campaign starts Friday. Go ahead, Rob. I'm sorry.
It's a joint launch with Fast 10.
Right.
One of them's really good.
One of them's great.
And the other's Fast 10.
That's
The other is
it.
Fast 10. Ooh.
But that's it.
That's it?
That's it.
That's all you got? You're just going to zip through all those Migos. Just not going to explain what they are. No, just
Well,
You
yeah. I mean, okay,
you didn't even
sure.
give names. We had to tell people.
Can I see the Matthew Lesko one again, please?
Oh, sure.
Good old Matthew Lesko.
Does he come with a book about government programs?
Yeah.
Sadly, no.
Is he riding on a rocket ship?
Look, the Penguin doesn't even come with an umbrella, so
Yeah.
Matthew Lesko is not going to come with a book.
But hey,
did
Green Arrow has his bow and arrows
All right.
and his hat.
And his bitchin' goatee.
Yeah,
That's right.
Looks like a ski jump.
it's
Right.
fantastic.
Can't believe he even bothered with a secret identity back in those days, but there it was.
Yeah, I know. Hey, you know what, Oliver Queen, you got the same look as the Green Arrow.
Like, he didn't even comb it different.
No,
Like, I could see it if he was, I'm going to go fight crime as the Green Arrow. Let me wax up the old beard and let's go. No, he wore it like that as Oliver Queen,
He's a lazy bastard.
right?
he's
Just
glorious.
figured as an eccentric rich person emulating his hero.
No, he was back in the comics when he was wearing that. He was flat broke.
Oh,
So a nod for you, gentlemen. Diana Davis got in the inks for 302. The art is insane as the 405 freeway on Thanksgiving, in a good way.
I heard
Nothing
the
to
405.
add?
I heard
Nothing.
the 405 on Thanksgiving.
Nobody wants to go near the 405 during any holiday.
Slightly busy.
I
Slight
normally
delay.
try and take a segue through El Segundo.
All the way out to Santa Monica.
With a brief stop in Marina Del Rey.
Driving from Phoenix to Bend, Oregon once, my future wife and I got to Santa Monica. And I'm like, I think we missed a turn.
I had a brief horrible moment like that driving to JoeCon in 2018. Because
You're supposed
basically
to
the
go north
road
at some
dips
point.
you as you're going through the impossible mountains in there, you dip into Georgia and then back up into Tennessee.
Right.
And I was like, why am I in Georgia? I was like, oh yeah, that's right. All right, that's right. Okay.
We're all right.
But
You got to put those interstates around mountains. So,
Yeah.
it works out that way sometimes.
By the way, in case you don't know your California geography, you know what's west of Santa Monica? Japan. Yeah.
Hawaii.
Yeah. Well, Hawaii too, but
I mean, you don't need a passport till you get past there.
that's a good point.
All right. Mark Weber.
Yeah.
Did you get in?
Nothing.
What?
Josh, I just haven't had a whole lot coming through the web shack. I may have to go get that Matthew Lesko figure. Got an itchy trigger finger, you know what I mean?
I guess.
Nothing. Been tough. Tough couple weeks.
Riddle me this, Mark Weber.
Right? Too many questions, Mr. Wayne. So that's it. Yeah. Nothing.
The problem with
Yeah.
buying your own Riddler action figure is that then you have to think of the riddles, and they're always
Good
terrible.
point.
I got plenty of Riddler comics. Just pull them out of there.
What's black and white and red all over, Mr. Wayne? Oh, you figured it out.
Yeah. All right. I'll go now. I'll go now.
I'll see myself out.
Get him, calendar man.
Hey,
Hey, come on now. He was good for a story.
I got a 3-issue arc with Calendar Man. It's fantastic.
There you go.
So I guess it's my turn. And I suppose first off, we will address the 800-pound gorilla in the room. And that is this gentleman right here. Of course, we know him as Beach Ticket. Fans overwhelmingly voted to include him in Beach Party 86. So congratulations, Beach Ticket. You are number 76
Ooh.
in Beach Party 86. And speaking of which,
Wait a minute.
it's number 77.
There it is.
He's got all of his stuff.
Good.
We didn't send his stuff over to Phil,
Mm.
who's a gold brick.
Mm-hmm.
Here's number 78. He's just as good. He's got all of his stuff. We're kind of getting back into a healthier run of beachheads. No more of a crew of problematic bachelors who call themselves the Squad. Those guys, they're old news. The Squad stops at 4, although now they have a driver.
I see those guys running around to yakety sax somehow. Right?
That's probably more energetic. Than
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah.
They've got low T after all.
Yeah. Low T.
Yes, they do.
And the other purchase I made last week that was not prepared and still technically really isn't prepared this week, but I had some chassis work to do on this guy. But I finally have enough to complete a moray for the first time in many, many years. This is spread out over 3 boats, mind you.
That's some moray.
Yeah, I had to do some tab gluing with our friend Mr. Gorilla Glue. But that is there. I will have a fully staffed with lampreys Cobra moray. I'll put some pictures up as we get the dainty work done. I got to get some stickers for it, but otherwise that one's in real good shape. All the parts work. I've got all the missiles and guns and all the little hatch doors and things like that. The little missile launcher thing pops up in them. I'll bring, because that's hooked up.
Nice. Do you have the $1 million lens?
I do not.
That thing sucks.
That is, yeah. I don't like that's at the point where it's so obscure and so silly that I just don't care. Like, I'll buy a replacement for it if somebody makes one that's a weird color. I don't want to buy one that's a repro that looks like the original one.
Right.
But if somebody makes like a blue one that fits in there, I'm in for $5, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not that kind of collector. I do this for fun. I don't do this so I can accumulate stuff that I have to put effort into maintaining.
There you go.
Or that much anyway. Every once in a while, you gotta walk the beachheads, but that's okay. But Nomad's Wandering says he'll always be lift head to me. That's the other way. That's if we get a lift ticket torso with beachhead legs. That's the other way.
With a broken crotch.
Right. Oh, come on now.
Just say it.
A broken crotch would explain that goofy look on Lift Ticket's face.
Right.
That's the point.
Right. Well, I mean, something would have to explain it. But anyways.
And anything for your birthday from your brother?
Yes, he did. I have to unearth it a little bit. I started getting into actually opening some of the stuff that I've bought in previous months.
Ooh.
So I buried it a little bit. So bear with me.
Maybe I'll lava bear with you.
Oh, here we go.
And you booted my joke?
Yes. He's under contract. But it's a collection of Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, issues 1 to 42 from back in the glory days of the late 70s to early 80s. Plus annual number 1, Amazing Spider-Man annual 13, and Fantastic Four number 218, which apparently includes stories that complete or have
crossover.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. Stuff like that. Because Marvel was doing that stuff even back then.
Is that a Moon Knight debut?
I don't think
no,
it's a debut,
but it's early.
It's it's maybe his first guest shot somewhere.
Yeah, he debuted in something weird, right? Like Tales
Werewolf
from
by
Mystery.
Night.
That's it, Werewolf by Night.
Right. It was some shitty book that even a third tier character like Moon Knight couldn't save.
I always had a soft spot for Moon Knight.
Why?
Just saying. I like the bit where he said, "Why do I wear white? Because I want them to see me coming." Like, that's cool.
I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
that sounded more like a recipe to get shot, but that was the birthday present from Ragtime Rob.
That's
Go
a good
figure.
gift.
Go figure. Comic book related.
And you're going to go down that rabbit hole of trying to get all the omnibuses to complete your run. And you find yourself buying stuff like this because it had new stuff in it.
Yeah, I don't buy those because then Ragtime Rob would have nothing to buy me for Christmas and birthday. I just let them be.
Ragtime Rob does have a soft spot for 50-pound books.
Yes.
Hey, 50-pound books that he could find a good deal on.
There you go.
That's what I'm saying. He probably paid like $17 for this.
Hey,
And it-
man.
If this shelf collapses, I'm a dead man.
Right.
right?
half price, but full weight.
That looks like wood, but it's corrugated steel.
That book's not just heavy enough to level out the couch. It's heavy enough to support its own couch.
We don't know how Phil started, but we know how he's going to end. It's that thing falling on him live on a broadcast.
I mean, Phil, maybe you should rearrange things and get the heavy books on a lower shelf. Maybe
He's
that's-
going to be like the Wicked Witch of the East.
Just his feet sticking out.
Curling up.
with his boat shoes sticking out the bottom of a big
Right.
pile of action figures and books.
It's probably how I would have wanted to go.
Some juvenile delinquent chick from Kansas is going to walk by and be like, "Hey, nice kicks."
Right?
Tough.
Jeff Butler says, melt down some heavy metal lift ticket and hardtop mics with a Keelhaul pistol into a glass lens. I'm sure this is how science works, right? Yeah.
Yes.
They would work. Yeah, sure.
Beat my own chest here. I got 4 of the 5. I'm only missing one of those. Not bad. Not bad.
Rub it in, Weber.
Just saying. If anyone wants to send me the 5th.
Firefly says, I need a Steelcase gift card for Christmas. I don't know what that is.
But yeah, send it to
sure.
What's on Joe Mind at
Gmail.com.
Indianapolis.
We didn't say we weren't willing to find out. Yeah.
Right? Matt Rubin says he wasn't wearing ruby loafers.
Ruby loaf.
I mean, maybe. We're not here to judge Phil.
I hear he does have Zuzu's pedals.
You can't see his feet, can you?
I'm actually not wearing shoes at all because I'm inside the house like a civilized person.
Look, we're just lucky he's got briefs on. It's his own house. But
Yes.
let's roll into
Very
shout-outs.
bad.
Phil, who we shouting out to?
As always, shouting out my partner, Patrick Stewart. He and I are on a podcast called Articulated Points, where we go over stuff like GI Joe and other toy lines. Lately, we've been covering Sergeant Savage, and there is a lot to uncover there. So check us out. I'm sure Mike has put links in the description below.
Yes. Sergeant Savage was a time of great upheaval for the GI Joe mythos and product. So,
But lots of neat Joe Kubert artwork.
well, that too. So the line itself was kind of a dud. Let's be honest. It was not terribly exciting, especially after the neon craziness that preceded it for a few years. But there was a lot of
they wanted military realism in the 90s. That line kind of tells you they didn't.
Right. I mean, it was a strange time. There were a lot of pivots and almost happens, and even just running changes to the Sergeant Savage story, and it was a mess. So again, anytime you see background stuff on Sergeant Savage, especially from people who do their homework, like Phil and Patrick, be sure to check that out. Give Articulated Points a subscribe.
And that's all for me. So moving on.
I love how the original Sergeant Savage storyline also was the storyline for the original Austin Powers.
Ragtime Rob, shout out.
Shout out to the studio audience. Thank you for tuning in as always.
We're sorry.
And shout out to the calendar as it creeps ever closer.
How many more weeks you got?
1.5.
Oh man. I was
Is
expecting
this just the
that.
point where you just check out and just put stuff on the VHS card?
Let me put it this way. Today, the kids watched about 30 Looney Tunes cartoons.
That's good learning right there.
Yeah. I mean, they were good ones, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I had. There was no sub in the classroom next to mine, so I inherited those kids for the day. I sent one home sick. 2 came in late. And I had to sit in on 2 interviews for an open position for next year. So yeah, it was just like, all right, just keep them happy. Put this on. Because I didn't even have time to go down to the copier to get the lessons I had actually prepared.
Did you show them Bugs Bunny versus the Crusher? Love that one.
I don't think that one was, but I mean, there's One Froggy Evening, of course. The entire run of Marvin the Martian was on that disc.
That's a good one.
And the Tasmanian Devil. They saw the very first Pepe Le Pew.
Dangerous.
Yeah, doesn't hold up, but okay.
Dangerous.
That one kind of does because the lady cat starts chasing him around at the end. So
okay.
Yeah.
2 wrongs and all that, but sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, males can be harassed too.
Yeah. So he gets turnabout, which is fair play.
It's a problem. It's a problem some of us deal with all the time.
I know, right?
Anyways.
It's tough being young and single.
Oh, and just this virile. Anyway.
And also nocturnal.
Who else? Right. And makes access a little too easy. What else you got, Ragtime Rob?
That's it.
Mark Weber.
Yeah.
Shout it out.
Let's shout it out to Mrs. Weber, who is not appearing on the program today, and to my mom, who's the most, let's see, what's a diplomatic way to put it? Most influential person in my life, my mom. So if you like how the web turned out, thank her. And if you don't, I don't care. How's that?
The great Nola Weber.
The great Nola Weber and Ben.
Take that, Tim Roberts.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So, yeah.
Bring it, Roberts.
That's right. My mom could beat up your mom.
Look, that was a threat I could have made as a kid, and it probably was true too. So.
Right. That's solid. If she could back it up, that's even better.
Right. I mean,
but that's it. I'm doing the Mother's Day salute to Mrs. Weber and Nola Weber. That's pretty solid.
So you didn't do that last week, which was before the holiday?
No.
Or were you just like really trying to keep it under time?
I wanted them to think I was going to forget.
Did you?
Did
you forget?
Low expectations, the key to any happy marriage.
That's fair enough. You know what? Having a bad marriage under my belt, that's a very true statement.
There you go.
Scotty engineering principle.
There you go.
Yes. But I will start shout-outs by re-emphasizing Bart's shout-out to Joe and Mango Habanero Colton, and of course the wrist lock Wes Colton.
Right. Come on now.
The wrist lock Wes Whitlock. Can't do that I mean, it's one thing if you throw the correct last name on Wes. It's something else if you throw the alias last name on Wes.
Right.
That's crossing a line. It feels wrong somehow.
I don't think you signed up for that.
But to Wes and Joe and little Mango Habanero, as Mango Habanero's birthday gets ever closer. Honestly, like we've started the pool. As if we get past May 19th, Phil is out. So that's
3 days, baby. We got 3 days.
Yeah, June 3rd is the expected day. She ain't getting to June 3rd.
No.
Not happening.
Mm-mm.
Not making our mom's birthday.
Mm-mm.
Right. So shout out to the Wristlock / Colton family as the blessed day
rapidly approaches.
Right. Makes its loud and cumbersome progress. Give a shout out to Phil, who's filling in here tonight on last minute. I tend to forget what day it is real easy. So like I asked Phil to sub. It was about 3 a.m. Eastern.
11:32 p.m.
Right. So and he responded right away. And to which my reply was, get the hell to sleep. You got a show tomorrow.
That's it.
Right. So special shout out to Phil for pinch hitting on short notice. And honestly, Phil, I apologize. I thought I had asked you 2 days ago. But
Nope.
I went back through all the messaging. I was like, nope, sure didn't. Good job,
Why
Mike.
haven't I gotten back to you?
You're harassing him about his stupid beachhead accessories, but no, we can't get down to business. I want to give a shout out to Brian Lower, Hood of Cobra Commander 788, who got things started tonight over on his channel at 7 o'clock. He has long been our great advocate, so we appreciate all he does for us, and we hope you're tuning in to see him on his channel at 7 p.m. Eastern Time every Tuesday night. Give a shout out to our good friends at Kokomo Toys. Wonderful sponsors, even better friends. We've known them for a long, long time. Shout out to Racktime Rob and Mark Weber for tuning in tonight and being part of the show. I've thrown a lot on their plates in recent weeks, so I appreciate that they are responding in kind. I mean, now that we know Racktime Rob's throwing it in the hatch till the end of the school year, I feel a little better about that. Like, I'm not imposing that much on a guy who's trying not to work.
I gotta say, I mean, let's be honest. I'm exhausted. I mean, I just did half a show last week.
Right. I mean, I asked Mark to host an hour. I asked Mark to host 2 hours. He got halfway there, and
I don't get paid by the hour.
We're proud of him. We're proud of him peddling his little heart out.
Yep.
And of course, to all of you, if you're catching us live, thank you for making the time. If you're catching us on recording, hey, we love you too, man. Thank you so much. Regardless of when you're catching us, make sure that you're hitting like and hitting subscribe and getting counted by the folks that make this channel go. We do love to hear from you. Have any feedback for us? Be sure to hit us up at our email, whatsonjoemind@gmail.com. We do have that voicemail too, right there on the business card. Boom, 262-515 WOJM.
Watch him.
It's an MP3. I'll play it on air. Like, you can get on the show with a voicemail. We've done it before.
We're talking to you, Scorclops.
Look, yeah, like, it's been 7 or 8 years since somebody left us a voicemail, but we'll do it, right?
Oh yeah. You don't have to let us know that it's okay for air because we're going to play it anyway.
Right? No, if you don't want it on air, that's fine. Just make sure that you let us know that it's not for airplay.
Fine.
Otherwise, we'll treat it like post-sock material. We'll put it as the voiceover on a really silly still photo, like Michigan J Frog,
or it'll end up in a community calendar bumper.
Dude, Firefly's got the best idea I've heard all week. We need to take last week's show and play the Mario Star music under
right
it. Oh, so good.
But someone needs to send that kid some mango habanero wings on her 6-ish birthday with no explanation. We got to wait a little bit longer than that. Mango habanero is pretty hot. It's not super unbearably hot for adults, but for 6, no, we want her to embrace her name. We don't want to drive another wedge.
I think you need to send those to Joe right now to ensure she ain't making June 3rd, right?
Right.
Like burn that kid right out.
Look, you know that kid will be on like the
junior out of there.
eating competition circuit by then.
That's right.
That's true. She's a legacy.
Yeah.
She's a legacy. But that's what we got. Look at us getting almost up to 2 hours again without any news. Imagine if something had happened this week.
Right.
Good Lord.
Oh.
But and there too, if you're catching us, I meant to continue on. If you're catching us on audio replay, thank you so much. Please, if you got a minute, get over to YouTube at one point this week and just click the little subscribe button there too. Just continue to enjoy however you want to enjoy what's on Joe Mind. Just do us a solid and get yourself counted there on the YouTube channel, just so we know how many of you there are, and we can read some stats and how we can serve you better. One to grow on graphic.
Mm-hmm.
To serve man.
This is the way.
The
Right.
cookbook. The cookbook.
I need to watch the old Twilight Zones. It's on Paramount
I
Plus.
babysat 6-year-olds who ate jalapenos. Person up. The trick is to start them early. Well, Firefly, that's possibly very Very true. All right. But that's it for us. Thanks so much for joining us. As our friend Vagon likes to say, stay safe, and if you can't, be careful. We will catch you next Tuesday for another episode of the TeamStream. We might catch you with something else before then, but we'll figure that out. It's an if prospect at this point. But until then, have a great rest of the week, and YoJoe.
Beer.